Hello, Earthlings.
Good day, Sapiens. Today we would like to begin a commentary about one of the most beautiful parts of our planet Earth, Iran, my love's birthplace. She hasn't returned to Iran since she left it about 40 years ago following the failed revolution they had there in 1979.
When I miss Iran very much, I can only do a Google search to see her amazing waterfalls, lakes, mountains, and other locations of rich beauty, accompanied with Iranian classical music. Yes, Iran is one of the Earth's ancient dominions, experiencing many centuries of wars, expanding territories, and cultural development. Around 1900, during the Qajar dynasty, which was from 1789 to 1925, Iran began, like many countries, a modernization transformation, and Tehran became the capital city. In 1908, the British found oil in Masjid Suleiman of Khuzestan province, which led to troubles for the Qajars and to Iran becoming a slave to the international pressure that oil brought. Thus, as of December 1925, with the help of England's General Edmund Ironside, the Qajars were defeated and were replaced with Reza Pahlavi, who was a soldier at the time and who then stayed in power for 16 years.
However, during World War II, Russia and England feared Reza Shah's cooperation with Germany, so they removed him and installed his 22-year-old son in his place. For years after that, the young Shah was cooperating with England, but after World War II, imperialistic control of the world, including Iran, shifted more and more into the hands of American administrations.
A beautiful taste of democracy flourished for a very short time in the early 1950s with a brilliant nationalist called Mohammad Mossadegh. He nationalized Iran's oil and pursued a policy of independence. But he was defeated and overthrown in a CIA coup. When Mossadegh passed away, I was not yet born, but I learned how much he did for Iran in his very short time as Prime Minister. The above information is a tiny bit of the history. Would you like to know more? Then search the net or read relevant books.
The point here is that Iran, like many other countries with valuable resources, has been tossed between controlling powers at different times. And now we have had the Islamic Republic of Iran in power for 44 years.
How did we end up with them? At the time of Iran's revolution, there were many activist groups working hard for changes, leftists, centrists, and of course, the religious ones with their own agenda of putting women in scarves again and running an Islamic state. The leftists were getting somewhere. But no. A Middle Eastern country cannot have a leftist government or even any democracy.
So the world powers began cooking things again and helped Khomeini and his Islamic program take over Iran and their revolution. The rest is the show we all know something about. But the new Islamic government did not do as the Americans and NATO desired.
Oops, that didn't work out. So now the son of ex-Shah is being prepared for return to power in Iran, just like the son of Marcos returned to lead the Philippines. What are their credentials? Does the ex-Shah son even have an administrative experience? Well, there is another worry I have.
Do you remember the Chernobyl disaster? That was a nuclear power plant that had only 20% enriched uranium and which had a meltdown so bad that after about 40 years, people still cannot live there because of nuclear contamination.
It is reported that Iran has enriched its uranium to 60%. Very dangerous, right? Yet the American army dropped more than a dozen bunker buster bombs on the Iranian nuclear site at Fordo, which is deep underneath a mountain. That location is remote, but what would happen to Tehran's over 16 million people if the nuclear material were there? Imagine if the 60% enriched uranium was not removed before a similar strike near Tehran. What would become of its people?
The whole game of Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon has been repeated for years, just like when they were saying Iraq cannot have weapons of mass destruction, when they did not have any. The whole world knows that now, and many of us knew it then. The tyrant's game is to control the world the way they see fit, and it seems the Islamic regime of Iran does not wish to sit at the table and do whatever the world's operators want.
For how long do they want to give false information to people so they can change regime? Well, maybe we do want a different government in Iran. I want it too, as do many of us want. Iran is executing innocent people every year by hundreds, or imprisons them for any nonsense reason. The most horrible treatment of human being in prisons.
But changing Iran's regime cannot be done with creating chaos and destruction there, and also killing innocent people.
There are those, especially Iranians of the diaspora, who say, the people of Iran are living with difficulties anyway. Well, if some die in a war, at least the rest of them live to be free. Well, I say true that, but I say, why don't you go back and help an uprising yourself? I say, it is so easy for us to say these things here, where we are living in peace, making our money, traveling, and having fun. You want changes there? I suggest then go back and make new revolution. People around my age did their best, and Iran ended up in the same situation as before, with the added feature of oppressing women even more. I remember so well that many people around Iran revolution of 1979 were saying, Shah goes, anyone else is better. Today, I hear the new generation of Iranians saying, Islamic regime goes, anyone else is better. Did we learn anything from the past?
The Islamic Republic, Reza Shah, or whatever government is in place, will have to be approved by the world's powers. The people of Iran, like those of Ukraine, Palestine, Africa, Haiti, and more, are the chess pieces in their hands, and the dead are just collateral damage.
So, dear Earthlings, we all mainly are the citizens of planet Earth. The planet never asked us for passport, citizenship, or what has become of our borders today. Planet Earth is one magnificent beauty with abundant resources for all of us. Opportunist humans have made all the differences, and they are living comfortably, while many people are living with difficulties created by our systems.
As Earth's citizens, it is our responsibilities to look around at what's going on in the world, examine and consider the picture, and then work at and act upon solutions.
So, stay altruistic and unite everywhere you are or can.
For a better world for all, practice altruism.